Hi everyone. June 14th, I think we're week 7. This week I was going to talk about mandate reporting. The one thing that will be hard is I work in Vermont and my internship's in Vermont, and so is in Elizabeth. So I'm just going to briefly talk, just give a little overview of what she brought up last week. But I also sat down with my supervisor and talked about what mandate reporting looks like in hospice because it's such a delicate situation, just like a lot of our jobs are. But so for mandate reporting, there's two pieces. There's children's and adults. You want to make sure that you're reporting in 24 hours. There's two different setups. I've actually gone through both through my full-time job, and the biggest piece when looking at reporting something is making sure that you're describing a lot of details, but also that if for some reason that the APS or DCF decides that they're not going to follow through and you're still seeing stuff to keep reporting. And this is pretty much for any state because the whole point of reporting is to show that there's neglect or there's abuse or anything like that. And the more times you report for each time you see it, they're going to say, oh, it's going to be a red flag. We've already gotten a report a month or two ago. So I have one of those situations going on with an adult of mine, and it stinks because you fill out all of this paperwork, you put this time and effort in, and you get to a point where you could cross a line of a relationship with a client and their family, but in the end you need to make sure that they're not getting neglected or abused. So it's really important to make sure that we keep following through everything and making sure that we're reporting in 24 hours. Last week I had a really rough week at my normal job where I had to pull a child out of a home, and it was an emergency removal with DCF, and the home that they were living in, the foster home, they pointed fingers at me saying it was all my fault that they didn't do anything. So they started making all these false reports that happened weeks and months ago that they were saying, and the DCF worker said, you do know that you have to report in 24 hours, and she talked to me about it because she was going to follow up because she's DCF, the social worker, but at the same time she knew that none of the reports were true. So mandating reporting is very different for each state, and it's really important for us to make sure that we're following through for the people that we're supporting. So for my hospice internship, I talked with my supervisor about has she ever reported anyone? Has she ever been in a situation? She's been in the hospice field for about 15 years now, and she said there's been 2 incidences where she felt that there needed to be reporting. One was a wife, I think it was her, no, actually it was this woman and her boyfriend, and he could get angry, and it made her nervous at times, but she put her and her family, because I think her kids live far away, put an agreement, a safety agreement together, and all the different home care provider or the care providers that came in, and the hospice people came in, knew the plan and the after-hour calls, and same with the family and friends and neighbors that were around. So if for some reason, and he knew, the boyfriend did too, that if she didn't feel comfortable or safe, that she could just leave. And that safety plan made it so my supervisor at that time didn't have to mandate report because she knew that there was a plan in place. So she wanted to make sure that she worked through helping this person out before just automatically reporting. And that's her mindset is, yes, we need to report when there's stuff that we have to report about and there's no way of working around. But in the end, in hospice and most of our fields, obviously, but we're going into a really personal situation and home, and it can be really tough. And sometimes, even though we could see someone being rude and neglecting someone, it could also be that person's burnt out. They're calling out for help. They need support too. So making sure before just automatically going to APS and reporting that this family member is not taking care of their mother or their significant other, it's asking them, are you okay? Do you need anything? And also asking the patient or client or anyone that we're supporting, saying, do you feel okay? Do you feel like you're getting everything you need? And that's why it's really important for us to build those relationships. And that's what I'm learning a lot now, is that building those relationships so we can go in and help support the people that we're around before going into reporting against them. So I know that's not exactly how the mandated reporting question was, but it's kind of hard to say the same thing Elizabeth said, but thought I'd just go a little detail on how I've learned from other people, my supervisor and at work, what about mandated reporting is so important, but also how can we help not do it and help the people we're with. So that's this week. I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.